Going to do it live.
Doing it live.
We're going to do it live.
Doing it live.
We don't play games here. Welcome.
Welcome. We were going to kind of just like blueprint our discussion for the day, and then I got bored.
Yeah, we don't do that well. We should.
We never have a plan. So we're just going to do it live, y'all.
Even if we did have a plan, we'd just change it.
Yeah, we would veer from the plan.
Yeah.
So this week was the White Lotus season 3 finale.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
I think this was actually my favorite season.
I think this was my favorite season too, but for just a few characters. The murder mystery wasn't as exciting, I don't think, but the character
No, I thought it was
development
pretty predictable from the beginning who the people were most likely going to be that died. Okay.
All right. So I think that, like, we can kind of start.
Jenn's just starting.
I'm just starting. So
if you haven't watched this,
yeah, we should.
Fuck off.
Yeah, don't.
Where are you? What are you doing in pop culture?
We should have said there will be spoilers. Let's say it. There will be spoilers. Okay.
Spoiler alert. We should put a thing in right there that is like Stacy alert from Wayne's World. But
Stacey?
Spoilers.
Okay.
You don't remember that whenever his ex would be coming, they're all Stacy alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Do we just say it like that?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
But I thought the casting was fabulous and all the little storylines I loved.
Who did you think was going to die right away?
I thought it was either going to be Rick or his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Toothy McToothface.
What is her name?
Chelsea?
Chelsea.
Chelsea is the character's name.
Okay. I thought it was definitely going to be Chelsea too, but because I thought she was the nicest and I didn't judge her teeth.
Well, you're obviously better than me.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
Okay. I thought her teeth were cute.
I thought that was predictable. So I was hoping it wasn't going to be them. I was hoping for the family suicide.
Oh.
I was like, oh, shit, that is going to be a twist. This dad is going to kill off all his family except for the one that said he would be fine being poor. The youngest one.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been better for him, though.
And I don't think he would have been fine being poor. I think he, again, was just people-pleasing.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, Dad, whatever. But he maybe would have. He seemed the most easygoing.
He wanted the least out of things, it seemed like. He was willing to go to the monastery. And I think sincerely.
I think just to support his sister, though.
Yeah.
I don't think he had any...
No desire to do it.
For himself, I think he was just like...
Plus, he'd had kind of a weird week, so he might have got him at the right time.
He was like, I need to quit jerking off my brother. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, I think that, like, we can kind of start.
Jenn's just starting.
I'm just starting. So,
because as always, she hears the things that people are shit talking on the interwebs.
Yeah. One of the biggest things, I think, one of the biggest issues here that we have to kind of unravel is why would, what's his name? The kid who drank this.
Oh, the youngest sibling who drank from the dirty blender.
Yeah.
Why would he drink from the dirty blender? Is that the biggest thing we need to figure out, or what?
That was one of the things they most were talking shit about. Lachlan, that's right.
Lachlan.
Why would Lachlan just go on up to that blender and drink out of that?
Because he is a teenage boy and they are pigs. They just don't give a shit.
So I thought...
You're expecting too much out of a teenage boy. Let it go.
I guess he seemed older too, but...
He was a senior in high school. He probably thought, I don't know, what's this stuff from this morning? Doesn't matter. I'm on bulk up. I'm muscle milk in there.
That's what he said. But I was like, he wanted to be a part of the thing where he was drinking the pina coladas because he couldn't have one.
So if there was also leftover alcohol in there a little bit, he wouldn't be mad about that either.
No,
Either way, he just does not care.
That was my thought. But Vanity Fair wrote an article that said the punishment for drinking out of a dirty blender actually should be death.
Which is funny.
That's
a funny headline.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of feelings about that. And I guess we've kind of unraveled that mystery by saying...
People that really are worrying about that are idiots.
Teenagers are gross.
Yes.
Let's not worry about it. But there's talk about a lot
Teenage boys especially.
So there's a lot of...
Teenage girls are also gross, though, too. I'm just going to say.
Well,
Like, my son would probably find a piece of pizza from a couple days ago and eat it. Like, not refrigerated, not whatever. Just put it in his mouth. So night before, blender gunk is, like, not even a thing that they're going to process.
So people talked a little bit about plot holes, and one of the plot holes they talked about was, why do they keep this death fruit all over the place, readily available for everyone to...
This is also probably just a guess, but it's probably just like an invasive natural species that's there all the time.
Yeah.
Why cut it down and it would just reroot and come back up?
Yeah, why tell them? Like, why not just not eat it? That'd be better. And maybe others...
They did tell them that.
Yeah. I mean, then why don't think they need to eliminate them from the place in case idiots...
Plus, if you want to kill yourself, go, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't idiot-proof everything.
And in Hawaii, when we were in Hawaii,
That's not a plot hole.
That's what people said. Why not? Why keep them?
That's not what a plot hole is.
Well, there were other plot holes. So you're going to go threaten a guy who owns the resort you're staying in and then go back to the resort? Maybe get out of there. Why go back and stay there?
It was only a day, right?
Yeah.
He probably just thought it wasn't going to happen so fast.
Yeah.
Plus, he was in his new euphoric state of not having to be burdened by his identity.
Oh, yeah. Okay. By his long-term
He was, yeah. Yep.
Okay. I don't remember what the other plot holes were, but that was
again
one of
is
them.
not a plot hole. I mean,
I'm just saying, listen, I
don't think the internet knows what a plot hole is.
I don't write the internet. I'm just telling you that's what people had said.
Well, those things are not. This is why I don't get on the internet.
Well,
because people are so stupid. That's not what a plot hole is.
Okay, well, that was what people had said. Many people mentioned the fact that these were a plot. Those are the ones I remember. And then I can't remember all of them, but that was a couple of them. And then people were like...
Plot hole is something that doesn't get wrapped up, right?
Or that doesn't
I'm
make
not
sense.
the idiot.
That doesn't make sense. Like, wait a minute, why would he go and kill that guy after whatever or something like that?
Well, just because you as a viewer does not understand the reason that someone's doing something doesn't make it a plot hole. I thought a plot hole is when you put something out there, a question that never gets answered.
Oh, I don't know. Somebody look it up and then send it to us.
Ugh.
But make sure you spell it right. One of the other things that's going around that people have had things to say is a conversation of the character Lori, who was probably the smarter or whatever you want to say of the three.
The more career-driven friend in the friend group.
Who wasn't not an actress career, but something else.
She was an attorney.
She was an attorney. She wasn't an actress, but the career-driven one might have been the actress there in that situation. But she was...
Oh, there is no way an actress is more career-driven than an attorney.
I don't know.
An actress is just prettier. An actress is just blessed with a better bone structure. You don't have to work very hard to be an actress. Come on.
People take their career very seriously and they do things for it. Maybe it's not hard. I don't know. But at any rate... however you want to call her.
If you're an actress out there, I'm sorry I offended you, but I definitely think an attorney...
They're just like realtors. They're like driven.
They don't give up, I'm sure.
So anyway, one of the things that was going around is this Lori gives this speech that a lot of people were really moved by when she talks about finding meaning in life. Other people were crapping on that. So I think first maybe we play the clip of her talking about it.
Yes, and then I want to know
what the criticism
crap is. Yeah.
So just to give you, if you've watched it, then this will make sense. And if not, then none of this will make sense.
Think about it more deeply. Listen again.
It's funny because if I'm being honest, all week I've just been so sad.
What?
I just feel like my expectations were too high, or I just feel like as you get older, you have to justify your life, and your choices. And when I'm with you guys, it's just so transparent what my choices were and my mistakes. I have no belief system, and I've had a lot of them, but work was my religion for forever, but I definitely lost my belief there. And then I tried love, and that was just a painful religion, just made everything worse. And then even for me, just like being a mother, that didn't save me either. But I had this epiphany today. I don't need religion or God to give my life meaning, because time gives it meaning. We started this life together. I mean, we're going through it apart, but we're still together. And I look at you guys and it feels meaningful. And I can't explain it, but even when we're just sitting around the pool talking about whatever and name shit, it still feels very fucking deep. I'm glad you have a beautiful face. And I'm glad that you have a beautiful life. And I'm just happy to be at the table.
Okay. So
Now that you heard it again.
I liked that moment as well. You liked that moment as well.
Yeah.
You didn't want to poo-poo all over it.
No.
So what moved you? What did you like about it? What resonated?
Well, I think that it's true that long relationships can give you perspective on your life. I think that there can be just being somewhere with people that you have all this shared experience with can be a deeply moving thing. And I do think that time can make life more meaningful. It's like your understanding of life that gets deeper, and that these moments mean more and make more sense. Unfortunately, not everyone has time, and not everyone has friends that are old friends. And the criticism from the people I've heard online is that basically this girl is accepting the scraps of a relationship from friends who aren't very good friends to her. So in some ways I can relate to that, because...
Say that again.
So they're saying, girl, these girls have lied to you. They've treated you like crap. They other you all the time. You're not in the group with the two of them. You are, but you aren't. And the one girl sleeps with the guy, and they kind of treat her badly.
Are most of these women online that are shitting on Lori's perspective young women?
I don't know. Do you want me to play the clip?
No, I don't want to hear annoying women.
It says, well, I'll just read. Anyone praising this friendship must think that female friendships are supposed to be catty, manipulative, and shallow. Lori didn't find her strength in the trio. She settled for familiarity because they didn't give her more, and that's not friendship.
I think that is an oversimplification.
Okay.
What that person just wrote.
And we only saw 4 days of their relationship, whatever.
And they all talked crap about the other one. That's sort of what happens when there's a throuple of any kind. 3 people get together, and 2 of them are always going to talk about the one that's not there. Not necessarily good, not necessarily bad. Just sometimes you talk about the person that isn't there.
Yeah. But sometimes there's a loser in that group, in a group of 3 women. And I
don't think she was the loser in the group.
I think of the friendship, she was.
I thought it was the Trumper. I thought the
different
Trumper
kind of
one.
losing.
No, I thought no. Not even just because of that. I thought she was the one that was out of the the groove of the friendship. More
Why did
often.
you think that?
She didn't like the partying. She didn't like the going out. She tended to be by herself more often. Wanted to turn in earlier.
Yeah.
So, and to think that friendship is any one specific thing is also basic as fuck.
Yeah, it's not like there isn't every friendship that has some element of all of that in it, right?
Or some friendships that have none of it, but have other things.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think that this was a perspective. It was something she realized about herself. It wasn't anything about these other 2 women.
Yeah, I agree.
And so
The point that the woman was making was just, it sounds like she's settling for a friendship with people that aren't aligned and making it.
you have a pretty boring fucking life if you only have friends that are aligned with you. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think you should have friends of all different kinds and things that you groove on and some things that you don't groove on, and that is going to break you out of your own box.
Have you been in a group of women friends? Like a group of friends you grew up with or lived on the same street with that were all went out together and had that kind of relationship?
What kind of relationship? Like a catty relationship, like that lady online described this relationship as?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just thought it super. I found it okay. These are older women,
Yeah.
2 of which were pretty superficial. One was very superficial as an actress and cared about her stuff all the time, and then the other really skinny friend
Yeah.
was also pretty superficial. I don't have superficial friends. I'm probably the most superficial. So
Okay.
that dynamic,
That's not one you've lived through.
no. And as an adult, especially as an aging woman, I find it funny.
The
I thought-
cattiness?
Well, just like the, you know, and the phoniness of being like, oh, you look so good. You look like we're still in high school. Whatever work you're getting done, it seems natural. Like
Oh my
that
God.
sort of thing. I hate that.
Love it.
I hate that.
Well,
But I know women
yeah.
that they want that.
Yeah.
They want the compliments. They want to know that. And again, this is where I all bring it back to identity. Their identity as a prison, all of these women were not allowing themselves to grow as human beings except for Lori.
So
Lori tried all these different things.
she broke herself out of the prison.
She's working towards it.
To me, like, I'll just kind of give you a short example of when. So this has happened to me multiple times in my life. I've had bad luck with women friends. And maybe it's like the gay community or whatever, but just in general, bad luck with women friends. I know what it's like to feel stabbed in the back by someone so hard that you can't believe it. And then you have to leave and this group. And the best thing that I ever did for myself was leaving that group of people. But maybe in 20 years, I'd be sitting at a resort in Taiwan. And I'd be saying, I'm glad I stuck with it. All of this horrible shit you did to me for all these years, because now I can look at it and you can see my bad choices and I can see yours. Is it the relationship? Lori might have had an epiphany, but I could also see where her biggest epiphany would come from not talking to these 2 bitches anymore.
I think it depends on what she wants.
Yeah.
And she was pretty honest. I think she was the most honest out of the group, where she would be like, why the hell did you do that? She would bring it up to
Yeah. Well, she's the truth. She's the truth teller, right? That's always calling him out for their dumbness. But she's right there with it, right? She's right there in it and still trying to sleep with the guy, do the dangerous thing to be seen and included in this group.
Maybe she just did it because she wanted to do it.
And then after that comes the epiphany, like, oh, that was dumb. Could have got me killed.
But it could have also been really fun.
It could have been. It just wasn't.
It seemed like she had fun until she didn't. She was having fun until she wasn't.
Yeah. So if her identity was one to not do that, then it was a shock to her identity, maybe. I could see myself doing it too.
Correct.
And then coming out of that going, ooh. Blah.
Her identity was not to do that. She was not thinking about going out with guys and getting laid when she went on this vacation.
No.
That was put in her mind by her friend.
Yeah. 100%.
And she thought, fuck it. Maybe this is me. I'm going to try it.
Well, and her friend screwed her over, so I think she wanted to prove to her friend that she had this value. And then when she did it, she realized, oh, nope.
And she did I just... The internet likes to take human beings that are complex and make it all really simple.
Yeah.
And it's not simple.
And we project our own experiences onto characters. So
yeah. And time may be a thing that... Time being equal to the depth in which you know someone might be something that resonates for Lori.
Yeah.
and not be something that resonates for you. I think the whole point was that she got to a point where she said, I am sick and tired of being judged by everyone, and I'm sick and tired of being judged by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I also don't want to judge you guys anymore.
Yeah.
And that is why I thought it was moving and beautiful and growth. And you saw in the other two women's faces almost like, oh, shit.
Wow. That
What?
bitch.
Yeah.
That bitch is deep.
Yeah.
She just gave their lives a different level of meaning by saying that.
Yes.
And gave their friendship a different level of meaning, their friendships. Maybe they...
Then they almost got shot together later
Yeah.
that day. So it was probably a pretty moving day for everyone.
Yep.
If you're willing to stop worrying about your Botox and how you look in your bikini
Yeah.
and take an inventory of yourself
Yeah.
and what's important to you, maybe those two women could grow a little bit.
Yeah, maybe so.
And whether they do or not, who the hell knows? I don't think that's the point.
Maybe we'll find out next season.
No, they're not coming back.
You don't think so?
No. I don't think that's who's going to come back.
Okay. I hope it's
Prediction.
Piper. Huh?
Oh, I would watch a whole family of the
That's fun.
Ratliff family. I would watch them all day long.
Parker Posey. Anyway, okay, so that was kind of that. That was that thing. That's something that's been going around. So back and forth. We've covered the Lori being the truth teller. What else? I wanted to talk about Piper not staying at the monastery.
Oh, that was so good.
I thought it was pretty hilarious. And I didn't expect it. I really didn't. Stupid me.
Well, you knew something was coming because when Lachlan said he was going to stay, you could tell she was pissed.
Yeah, I thought she just didn't want him to be there. I wouldn't want my brother to be there either. He'd ruin it.
Yes, that's what I thought the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
why are you joining my party? I thought she just wanted to get away from her family, get away from her culture that she grew up in.
Yeah.
And maybe the Buddhist temple could have been something else. Maybe just going to study abroad would have done the same thing for her.
Yeah. Probably better than living at a...
Yeah.
They don't even have organic food there.
She was so funny.
So that...
But then you find out she's mad because she's like, God damn it. My brother could go live there tomorrow and he has done none of the work. He hasn't been meditating. He hasn't been reading the books. He hasn't been working on himself. And tomorrow or next month or whenever we're supposed to come back, he could just go
Yeah.
and do this.
He probably would have been fine. He might have liked it better than anyone. The simple life and maybe not having to please everybody all the time.
Yeah. And so I think that's why she was mad.
Yeah.
When you know how she ended up feeling about it.
Yeah.
When you look back, you're like, oh, that's probably why she was pissed off.
My brother ruins everything too, so I totally get it.
Well, and she was phony.
Yeah, I thought she wasn't, but I'm really bad at telling if I think they're pretty. Then I can't tell at all if they're phony.
You're like, she's too cute. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going
she's cute. I think she's
on.
deep. Look at her. She looks deep. She's so quiet.
Okay, her outfits gave it away for me.
Yeah, she didn't have dreads or anything.
That doesn't mean anything.
She has
I just
synthetic
thought
dreads.
it was, I don't know. I just thought it was a young person's attempt to break away from their family. I didn't think she was really that deep about the Buddhism part of it.
The Buddhism. Do you want me to play that clip? Should I play it? Play that clip?
Yes.
Okay.
Like the food, I mean, it was vegetarian, but it, I don't know, you could tell it like wasn't organic, and it was just kind of bland, and I don't know, it's kind of like, could I like really eat this for a whole year? And then, oh God, and then I went back to my room, and it was this like tiny little box with like a mattress with stains on it and no air conditioning, and I know I'm not supposed to be attached to this kind of stuff, and I don't want to think that I am, but like, I don't know, I think I am. Oh, I know I am. Like the idea that I'm like this princess who needs things to be a certain way, it's just so pathetic.
It's not pathetic.
No, Mom, it is. It is pathetic. And, like, I don't know. Like, I guess I am spoiled because, like, I can't live like that.
Oh, sweetie. You don't have to prove anything.
There's so much suffering in the world, and we have it so easy, and, like, other people have it so hard, and I feel like it's really unfair. And I just feel really bad.
We're lucky. It's true. No one in the history of the world has lived better than we have. Even the old kings and queens. The least we can do is enjoy it.
Yeah. Parker Posey is so good in that scene.
She is so good in the whole thing.
She really is.
I love her and the dad.
Yeah, he's
Too.
good too, for sure.
Like, oh my God, I could just watch those two and the stupid faces they make. Because in this clip, during this scene, the mom is like so happy. It's like all this relief on her face.
She's so proud.
She's so proud that her daughter is this fucking vapid.
Yeah. It solves her problems.
And the dad is like, God damn it. God fucking damn it. I thought that I would have one child
That could live without my money.
that could live with. Yeah, nope.
As it
Not
turns
this
out,
one.
no, not
Not
that one
this
anyway. But she does remind you of people who live this way and point out that sort of hypocrisy that many people bring to a situation like that. I mean, we've all seen this extreme poverty somewhere in this country or somewhere else. And what do we do about it? You just turn away from it. You know, some people may try to save lives or do something, but her living in a monastery wasn't going to fix any of it.
No, but the whole thing she's saying there to me sounds like someone who's in an arrested stage of development. To me, that's like something that a fucking elementary student would say. It just is so unfair.
Doesn't sound like a fully thought out.
Someone who's graduating college?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. So to me, that's also why I found it so funny, because I just felt like all of these children in this family were so far behind. They had the best educations money could buy. They probably had the best of everything, and they just still acted like they were fucking middle schoolers.
They never had to be more, I guess.
They never had to be more. They never had to have any deep thoughts or culturally relevant experiences.
Do you think it should be mandatory to understand poverty if you graduate college?
Well, I don't think it even has to do with the poverty, because these people at this monastery that she's talking about, they weren't impoverished.
That's true. But
She was just
some by
grossed
choice.
out that the mattress had stains on it and that there wasn't air conditioning and that the food wasn't made by a private chef. And you could tell it wasn't organic.
I wonder how you can tell.
I don't know. I eat organic food.
Does it have
Fruits
dirt on
and
it?
vegetables.
No dirt.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. She was so funny. It's just, I think that this show does a great job of depicting what is wrong with American culture, Western culture, but specifically American culture.
Yeah.
So I think it didn't touch on it as much in the second season because they were in Italy.
Yeah.
And so they're a similar culture in terms of like their
Yeah.
Western ideals opposed to this Far East ideology.
Yeah. Buddhism. Yeah. Well, I mostly just want to play that because it makes me laugh. So I'll let you pick the next topic clip or whatever you think.
Okay, well, let's just go. We've talked about, who did we talk about? We talked about, who was the first clip you played? I can't remember. I have like no brain cells.
The first clip I played was Lori.
Oh, Lori. Okay,
Yeah.
so we talked about the friend group.
Yep.
Which I think Lori was the only one who grew from that experience
Yeah.
in Thailand. And then we're talking about the Ratliffs, so that little family.
Yep.
I thought Saxon started to have like a breakthrough after his brother jerked him off. I don't think that's what got him there.
Well,
But I thought he started to kind of be like, he even had a boundary. That's what I thought, right? Like the guy who at the beginning I thought like he would do anything. He has no bottom.
the boundary was I draw the line at my brother jerking me off.
No, he didn't have sex with the rich guy who murdered Tanya.
Yeah. Well, he watched or whatever.
Yeah, so the British or the French Canadian gal
Yeah.
who had the rich husband,
Greg. That's right, Greg or Gary.
Greg or Gary. That couple, when they were like explaining his kink and that he wants to sort of watch his mom have sex.
Ugh.
And even Saxon is like, ew. Ew. This is grosser than my brother jerking me off. I'm not going to do it.
Maybe if he was on whatever they were on when that happened, he would have done it. But
And then he started to think, oh, maybe I can be like he started to, it was probably just because he wanted to have sex with Chelsea at that point.
yeah.
But I think he saw too, like, this Chelsea is a different woman than I've ever had. Like, Chelsea talks shit to me. Chelsea tells me I'm a terrible person.
Yeah.
Chelsea has boundaries with me. My money doesn't matter to her.
Yeah.
And he started to grow and change a little bit. Whether or not it's going to continue, I think it's going to have to continue with the face he made to his dad on the boat on the way out of like, oh shit, my life is never going to be the same.
Yep. And
So I hated him less at the end.
yeah. But some people were, in terms of plot holes or things that they're talking about online, people said he was sad when Chelsea went back with her boyfriend, but not sad that she died.
I don't know if they know she died.
Yeah, I wasn't clear on that either.
That was a plot hole because you don't know the timing
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a plot hole? I don't know what a plot hole is. I was thinking that too. But again, maybe they don't know that someone died. They knew that there was a shooting, but aren't there like you can't release information that quickly.
Yeah, maybe. If you didn't
So maybe
know who
they
died,
didn't
maybe
even
they didn't
know.
Yeah, that could be.
Maybe they'll know later.
And
But I thought him and the dad, I thought they had progress towards becoming better people.
yeah.
The mom was just the same old.
I don't think at this age that I'm designed to live an uncomfortable life. Or whatever.
Yeah, she was so good. She was so good. And how she kept talking to when they would be, she's like, oh, the boat people? Like having to go on the boat again. And she was hands down my favorite character.
Yeah,
Because she was so horrible and totally fine with being horrible.
Yeah, didn't bother her at all.
And when she thought she could save the Thai women from their rich, she's like, are you safe? I could hook you up with someone. You're just cute as a turnip. So I loved everything about her.
Yeah,
But
she was
I
good.
thought there was progress in that family's storyline and in them becoming people different than they thought they were when they went there.
This is why we travel.
Or watch shows about travel and then think about yourself. I hated the storyline with Belinda.
You hated it? Why?
Because I thought she regressed. I thought she became a worse person.
I thought she got what her due was.
Blood money?
Yeah, blood money, man. I thought, like, to me, like, my read on her was like, you know what? Good for her. She got stiffed by Tanya last time. She got stiffed
But
by
then
all
she
that.
turned around and stiffed her lover.
So what?
She
they,
did the same exact thing.
They weren't all that close. You know what I mean? Her situation.
Closer than her and Belinda.
her situation
Or her
changed.
and Tanya were.
No, I
Her
mean,
situation changed.
her situation changed. She has money now.
So then you can be a horrible fucking person
You just take the money because what's going to happen?
and become a horrible person. It's not like she took the money, called Interpol, turned this guy in,
She wouldn't have got the money then.
and
She still might not get the money.
it was in her account. I don't
Yeah.
know how you undo that.
Well,
I
if-
just kept
the
thinking
bank
she's
thinks
going to have
it's-
to pay taxes on that shit. They're going to ask where that's from
That's right.
at some point. But
My guess is she'll be in the next one way or another.
ugh.
Her son was not my favorite.
I liked him at first, like in the first episode where you don't know who's going to get shot. I'm like, oh, who's this young man who's worried about his mom? How sweet.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was like, ugh, just shoot both of them. I want those two to die.
No.
No?
Belinda needs to get hers.
You would have taken that money.
I don't know. I would have been afraid if I could keep it or not. I would have probably not put it into my account.
So that's what would have stopped you.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm
It's
not.
like a very rare situation that I am the better person morally than you, so I'm
Yeah,
going to be
no,
really
take-
happy about this.
Take the money.
No.
Take
no
the
way
money,
in
Belinda. Absolutely. Go
hell. There's
start your
no amount of money.
Go start your business and do something good with it.
I would do something good with it.
Yep. Even if it's just for you. You know she's going to be better with that money than Gary Gregg would have been. That money is
But like, what? What?
how is it make you a better person to, they can't extradite him from Thailand anyway, most likely. They're not going to believe her when she talks about it. She'll get stuck in a whole rigmarole of it. Take the money and run. The money didn't kill anyone. Gary did.
I don't
He ran away.
care.
The cops didn't care to find him. She has an opportunity. Take the money. The money's just money. Nothing to him.
Nothing is just money.
Well, I think it's just money. And I'm glad she has it. I am glad this fictional character has that money. And in terms of like her lover or whatever, that guy, they weren't married. They slept together once and she kind of had a thing for him, but
She didn't sleep with Tanya in Hawaii, and everyone was so mad that Tanya took that.
Tanya did what?
Tanya said, "Oh, I can't give you this money."
Yeah, that was some bullshit. I was mad at that. That was unfair.
How are you mad at that, but you're not mad at what Belinda did to that guy? That's hypocrisy.
No, it has nothing to do with it. She didn't owe him anything.
Why did Tanya
Did I
owe
miss-
Belinda anything?
Because she promised it to her. They just said we should open a business
She promised
together.
it to her. She did not promise it to her.
Yeah, she did. She let her way further down the line than Belinda did to the guy. She was just like, oh, maybe. I just didn't see it like that. Maybe I missed an episode or fell asleep for a minute when they really bonded. I just thought
Oh, well, like sleeping, like him checking on her when there's a giant thing in her room.
that was sweet. Yeah. That doesn't mean she has to open a business with him. I mean, doesn't mean Tanya did either, but like,
I'm not saying that, but she
Tanya-
was a total cunt. She's a fucking
Tanya-
bitch.
no, I'm 100% for her.
Oh, Tanya? I was 100% for Tanya, too.
I'm for Tanya and for Belinda.
Because Tanya had money already.
Yeah.
Tanya's already fucked up. People with that much money are fucked up. Belinda could have got that money and at least still been a decent person. But this shows she was never a fucking decent person. She was just as phony as everyone else. She told herself she was a good person, but she's not.
I don't agree. I think she just was getting what's getting. And maybe we'll see next season.
Getting
if she
what's
was.
getting.
She was just getting what. Come on, man.
How did she
Why
deserve
not?
any of that? If you're all about deserving.
She was afraid for her life, and then he made her that offer and take it and run. 100%. Otherwise, it's just your life. I think you take the money.
He would have never killed her.
Oh, I didn't know you knew that. Are you inside of his soul? I don't think so.
He wouldn't have given a fuck. Plus,
Yes, he would've.
her
Why
demeanor
wouldn't-
was super weak.
He ran all the way to Thailand, so he didn't.
And
have to
again, I
face-
don't even think that's the point
The point is
of what we were talking about.
that money is fine. She can have it.
Oh my God.
In my mind.
I'm judging you. There's no amount of time
Good.
of our friendship that I will think less of you for having this opinion.
Good. I want you to. If somebody offers me $5 million because they live in Thailand and they did a murder maybe that the police in the United States didn't do anything about, and then they're afraid I'm going to say something, and I wouldn't probably say something because I don't know for sure, and they're just going to give me money, I'd take it. But I would be quite worried and nervous, and I would make sure I did something with it that was positive. I would.
No,
I would
it was
invest
disgusting.
it in the stock market when Donald Trump says it's a great time to buy.
That was my least favorite.
That storyline?
Yes.
I get it.
I thought it was fucking disgusting.
I was for it. I'm like, good for her. She's looking at me with a lot of judgment.
I'm so grossed out right now.
Yeah. Take the money, Belinda. Money.
It's a very American thing to think.
I mean,
Money will not buy you peace of mind.
yeah, but it'll help you if you get cancer. It'll help you if you can't pay for something. It'll help you get a house, something that you can't even hardly get right now. How would she never, ever, ever would have been able to make that much money in her whole life? Most likely.
So?
And that fucking asswipe who killed his wife maybe has it just sitting there. $500 million or whatever. It's nothing. He'll make back that $5 million. It doesn't matter. That $5 million is security for her.
This has nothing to do with
security
him.
for her
This has to
son.
do with her character.
Yeah.
And it showed her character
But
and that she has none of it.
Meanwhile, you support the guy who shot the guy and he killed someone. Right?
He should have shot Belinda.
Nope.
She was the most disgusting character to me.
I can see it, but I don't agree. I'm glad she got her money. This world ain't fair for money. And if someone can get ahead that's like not a murdering asshole,
Oh my God.
however she does it.
So you're saying people that have money are murdering assholes?
I'm saying that Greg Gary was a asshole who stole from her.
He didn't
Steal from
her.
Tanya. He stole from Tanya, and Tanya.
That's none of her business.
No, I mean, she was there and she knew, and so she got a break.
But I hate the saying, but like two wrongs don't make a right.
Maybe not, but it's not like she killed him. And maybe
she covered it up.
if you
She didn't call.
if
she
she-
didn't call on it.
if she killed Greg Gary,
If she cared that much, and my point isn't even. I don't even care.
she
I don't even care. I wouldn't have done. I would have left my fucking mouth shut the whole goddamn time. I wouldn't have let that guy know I know. I wouldn't have been running around paranoid like a chicken with my head cut off, telling the managers at this place she's a fucking pussy. And then the second she gets money, she wants to act like she's tough. She's not.
She just got money. That's all.
Well, people with money can
Buy stuff.
still have shit happen to them.
And yeah, for sure. I mean, my guess would be that
And if you're a person without any character, that's just what it showed me, that she's a person of zero character.
if you've watched this show, I think you'll realize what's probably going to happen. She's going to take that money, and then something bad's going to happen. Something bad. It'll either make her.
I hope
bad-
so. I hope she's who returns and dies. It would make me feel so freaking good.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that's what the message was. Because I don't think people, generally speaking, think she should have taken it. I, however, disagree because the world's not fair and we all need money.
But that's a problem of desire,
Okay.
right?
Well, it's like safety. It's like a basic
It's
necessity.
it's perceived safety.
Yeah. It's pretty real. What happens if you get cancer in America?
Oh my God. Why do you keep bringing up fucking cancer?
Because it's a good way to explain the cost of living in this country.
You can get treatment and then file medical bankruptcy. You can become indigent. You can do all sorts of things.
Yeah, well, you'll lose everything you had.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works.
Well,
And again, she didn't have cancer, so
The-
this is
the
like you're
number
just
one-
making things up.
the number one cause
She
of
did not
bankruptcy-
need that money.
That money is security for her and her son.
No.
At the hands
You are trying to
of
say
a guy
that
who
if,
didn't need that money.
you are saying that if you, I don't care where the money came from. This like doesn't
You
even
do
matter
care.
to me.
That's the whole point, is that he is a murderer and therefore it's blood money, right?
Anyone's money. I'm
What
not
if-
taking anyone's money
what if
for
he-
them to keep me silent on whatever it is. Someone could just be like, I don't want you to tell anyone about this sex video that you know about me.
Yeah.
Anything that is like shutting me up. I'm not taking your fucking money. Kill
Okay.
me.
Okay.
I would rather be dead than
Okay.
be your fucking pawn.
All right.
Like, to me, that's completely disgusting, and you have no self-respect.
Well, still disagreeing over here. Still disagreeing. I mean,
And you are saying that if you have money, you have certainty. You don't.
no, I'm saying you're safer in this world with some money. And that's just how it is. If they offered her $100,000, that was some bullshit. I wouldn't have taken $100,000. That's nothing. A $5 million? I almost fell out of my chair when he said $5 million, which, I guess.
So
was the
did
point.
she almost.
I know. Well, but was she faking it? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
But then she has that conversation with him when he comes back out. Like, you go back in there and you tell him that your mama is an honest woman and that she's probably going to go say something. And the only thing you can do is give him that money.
Because she was still pretty nervous after. Like, it came in and
Yeah.
then she was rich, but then she was still pretty nervous like something might happen.
Yep.
I hope she's nervous for the rest of her life
She probably will be.
and lives with that anxiety and has a goddamn heart attack.
Why would you wish something so bad on her? I don't know, man.
Because that was a terrible thing to do.
I mean, either she shuts up and gets no money or she shuts up and get money. Those were her two options.
Yeah, you shut up and you get no money.
All right.
Because it's none of your goddamn business.
Hold on. Let me get you a cross. I'm going to get you a cross from outside. We'll bring it in here. You can nail yourself up to it and tell everybody that you're better than them. That's fine with me.
Well, again, the whole point of the show, I think, was the spirituality of Buddhism and how that's so far from Western culture. And that is to me the most disgusting one. American greed is disgusting. And she exemplified that so well. And it was so gross.
I don't think she was the worst of it.
Who was the most greedy?
Who was the most greedy?
Yeah.
Any one of the people in the family.
The Ratliff?
The Ratliff family.
No, I don't think so.
Well, because they never had to want for anything they weren't, but they would. None of them could live without that money.
I think the mom was probably the most greedy of those. She is going to go find herself another man. You know it. Her husband's going to go to prison and she's going to find another rich man, get a divorce, and keep her life. But to me, that's
Let's say
you're backing out on your marital vows.
let's say it wasn't Belinda who took the money. Let's say it was the hotel manager.
Oh, yeah.
What if he offered him that money to be quiet?
No, I don't. No one.
No one should take it.
No.
He wanted a lot of things and he never got anything. And did you notice? I didn't notice this and I didn't double check it, but someone said that he wasn't shot. He just fell into the water himself. He just fake fell into the water, which is genius. If he
Oh,
did.
yeah. No, he was just trying to escape. Yeah. No, he did.
That about him.
Yeah. He was. Yeah. And he
Yeah.
was freaking. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't notice, but until somebody said about it.
Well,
But
I thought you were going to be grossed out by that.
no, this country is gross with money. If Trump weren't president and trying to take every fucking dime from every fucking American, I might feel different right now. But if you had an opportunity to have any money that would give you security, I would take it. I don't care if that guy stays in Thailand, the woman's already dead. I just think you need it. Otherwise, you're in
If you can live with that, you're
I'll
gross.
I'll pay for my grossness.
You're a gross human being, in my opinion.
Thank you. I disagree.
And I think you're also full of shit. I think you would not take it.
I think for Belinda, it was the right choice. If I had some way to get $1 million, I would feel so much better right now. I feel like having $10 is not going to help me in this economy at all. So, I'm just screwed in this economy. And so if somebody had that money for me, I would take it. Because you know what? It ain't fair. This whole thing ain't fair. And it's just, we're going to bankrupt the country. Bankrupt the country. $5 million means freedom and not having to bend the knee to anyone, not having to hide myself, not having to worry, just to be able to be one of the people who matters for some reason because I have $5 million. And I would invest it and do the smartest things I could with it. And that would make me safer. And I'd leave the country until he's gone. I'm telling you, that's how I feel. Call me gross if you want.
Well, Belinda, you don't know if she lives in Trump's America.
She's an American, right? She was in Maui.
Yeah, but they aren't talking about, this is all,
Well, if she just took it because everything was fine and she's
And
probably
even then,
fine,
I don't think that's a justification for any of it. But
I might feel differently if everything were fine and she had a good amount of money. If she already had like enough money to be safe and she had
she
enough
had
money.
$12,000 in her checking account before that money went in there. That's not that bad.
She's got more than I do, but still, she's got a kid who went to college somehow, which is good. She might have $700,000 of debt. You know, to me, like financially right now, I don't, that's not a moral question. The moral question is,
But it was that was the whole point he put it in there, was because it was a moral question.
maybe. And maybe I just got a different perspective on
Mike
it,
White put it in there he wrote it in there as a moral question.
to make her be a person who you thought was good who went bad. Just like
a person that has presented herself one way and then you find out she's not. You find out she is also someone who doesn't know themselves very well.
Or knows herself well enough and is okay.
And then was being phony about who she was before.
Well,
So was she this terrible person and she was faking it to everyone else?
I don't know. You know, it would be. Maybe they'll talk about it, and you'll hear what they think the character motivation was. Was she a fraud the whole time, or was she not? I don't know. I don't have as much trouble with money being transferred from a really, really rich guy to a woman with a kid who didn't have a lot. That's all. Transfer the wealth. And she wasn't
But
going
by
to
that perception,
she wasn't going to say anything.
but by
anyway.
that perception, who had even less than her? The person she was going to go into business with had even less than her.
Well,
That Thai man
yeah, but
had less than she did.
Why are people wrapped up on this idea that she needed to start a business with this guy? Like, they mentioned it one time. He was nice to her. Why would you have to start a business with that person because of that? Like,
You don't have to, but she could have been like, things have changed, situations have changed. Here's $10,000. Hope that can.
yeah. Well, that would have been nice. That would have been a great thing that she could have done. And maybe
And she
will.
didn't because she's a fucking bitch.
She got the money and she ran for now.
Yeah, she's a greedy bitch.
She's going to have to come.
Greed.
She's
That
gonna-
is like,
she's
if,
gonna have
if
to
we
come-
have to do the 7 deadly sins, greed is my number one. 100%. It gets under my skin like nothing else.
Well, I don't love greed either, but that's the world we're living in. And that's security for her. I'll continue to say that.
It's not. It's more.
It's more
so
security
more
than
than
I have.
security.
Yeah.
That is an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah. I think you're going to need it. I think she's going to need it.
Oh my God.
I think so. I'm saying. I think it's going to get ugly. I think we're going to have.
Oh my God.
We're,
Okay.
We're going to have Hoovervilles and shit. And if you have $500,000 saved, you're not going to have enough money. Not to get through all of this. And if any of it's in the market,
Oh my
it's
God.
gonna
Okay,
get sucked
quit.
out of it. I'm just telling you.
Just say you watched this in like a different period of time.
Yeah, it might have felt differently. But understanding the fear of economic collapse, I would have taken that money right now. If anybody does have $5 million and wants me to keep quiet about something, let me know. First, you got to tell me what it
Pretty
is.
sure it doesn't work that way.
But if you did, let me know because I'm probably going to die of stress. So if my only thing I have to do is shut my mouth while I'm practicing having to shut my mouth anyway.
Okay, so you liked Belinda. I hated Belinda.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I didn't think
Gross.
we'd go on that long about that. You really, really were.
It made me mad. I was fucking mad.
Has anyone ever offered you a lot of money to keep your mouth shut for anything?
No, but I grew up in a family that had a lot of money and they want you to be a type of person you're going to. No, fuck you. Fuck off.
Okay. I grew up without money, really.
No. Yeah. No.
So, I mean,
And
it
I
wasn't
just- I
bad.
could-
It's not
I
like you're
couldn't-
impoverished.
To me, it's dishonest.
Well,
Like if she had been bitchy the whole time. You know, if she acted like Parker Posey's character the whole time. You know, you can be a person who doesn't have that much money, but like you act like you got money.
yeah.
If
I
you
know
could tell
people
that
like
that
that.
was something that was important to her, I wouldn't have been as disgusted. But she came across as one person and then totally flipped it.
I don't know. I bet if you asked black women, whether or not they thought it was a good thing for her to take that money, you'd maybe get more black women that go, you know what? I get it. I don't know.
I mean, it has nothing to do with that. It doesn't have to do with gender, color,
I get it.
anything.
I get it, but like what black person in America is like, I'm going to go to the police and tell them about this thing? No. She wasn't going to tell anyone anything. Ever. And again, she's either going to...
If she maybe would have had support from
No, wouldn't have mattered.
the manager at the hotel or something, if he would have been as freaked out as her. But again, I think that showed that, like, they see lots of sketchy shit there.
Yeah, 100%.
There's rich white guys and
Yep.
rich people of all different
Yeah.
nationalities
Yep.
and cultures that
What did
come
they-
there.
What do they call them? Ugly in America or something like that?
Yeah.
Losers in America?
Yeah. You just
So,
shut up and you keep your fucking business to yourself.
yeah, that's what
It's
she
like
would have
very
done.
mafia to me.
And she could have done that with $5 million or without it.
You don't fucking do it.
All right.
You don't fucking take their dirty fucking money.
I'm going to put a poll, and one of the 10 people who listens to this podcast can vote on whether or not you think that was a good bet. I'll find a little clip and we'll put it, see it on the socials.
Okay.
And anyway, so
So who else didn't we talk about? We didn't talk about... Chelsea. Chelsea and
oh yeah,
Greg. Rick.
Yeah.
Rick and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Rick was my second favorite character.
The murder.
I love Walter Goggins. He's like one of my faves.
Is that the actor's name?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
I also loved his friend.
Oh, Sam.
Oh my god.
What's his name?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell was fantastic.
I want to watch him all the time. But you probably won't because he's back in the Buddhist.
Yeah, that's right.
He went back at the end and was...
Yeah, reconnecting with his. He's like, that ship sailed, man. Let's go.
Yeah, he's like, I'm drinking. We're just going all. We're doing all of it. And him prancing around and
His underpants.
high as fuck in his little leopard print underwear.
It's pretty awesome.
And the part where they were... he was pretending to be the director.
Yes.
And talking to
He was so
and he's
good.
like, oh, what is that? This little Peter Pan? A little Pippin? Like, what? Just like the dialogue during that part is so well written.
Yeah, it was
so
really good.
fucking good.
It was funny.
So, I mean, that was a tragedy, right? That was, it was a tragic story.
The whole thing or Sam?
Well, no, Sam, not so much. Sam, just fun. But Chelsea and Rick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. True love and all of that, and just letting his problem win over love. I mean, how did you see it? You had a more philosophical take on all that, I think, if I remember right.
Well, no. Again, my whole thing is that identity is a prison. And Mike White did say that this season was likening to a Buddhist parable.
Okay.
So in the very first episode, Piper is doing her meditation at the night and she has her little earphones on or whatever and
Yeah.
sitting in her lotus pose. And they say she's listening to this monk and he says, identity is a prison. No one is spared from this prison. Rich man, poor man, success or failure. We build the prison, lock ourselves inside, and throw away the key. Rick could not be the victim.
Yeah. Even
He had a day. He had a day.
his whole life.
Not even. He had a night and a morning when he was free from that identity he had created. Well, that was created by his mother, and then he just fed into it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was also a good metaphor when he was releasing all those snakes from the cages,
Yeah.
right? He like wanted them to be free. He wanted him to free. He wanted his psyche to not be this man whose life was ruined because his father was murdered,
Yeah. Which wasn't even true.
which wasn't even true. But it didn't matter because that was the identity in his mind.
Yeah.
And the second that he let that go, he was happy.
Yeah.
He's like a different person. His acting was so different. His demeanor was lighter. Everything about him on his face was different. And Chelsea sensed it and they were happy and they're eating breakfast and everything's good.
Yeah.
And she says, you can't even let go of the past long enough to like love the person that wants to love you right now. Another take on Buddhism is that you kind of have to go with the flow of life. You have to be okay in the uncertainty,
Yeah.
and he couldn't do it.
One of the issues I have with Buddhism is kind of that.
Yeah, Mrs. You need your money to feel safe.
Yeah, you need having a little bit of money would feel pretty safe if I could get. I'll win the lottery if I have to, and I won't feel bad about that.
And then the security guard,
Who had his
guy took,
faith,
he was always pretty happy.
but
He was content in not having to fit into all these boxes and being himself. And then he shot a man and sort of therefore put himself back in his identity prison.
yeah,
He changed himself into someone he truly was not.
yeah, he appeared happy on the outside, to her, and he had the girl maybe.
Yep.
And one of the things that was said online was basically that Mook, I guess that was the name of the girl,
Yes.
was the undisputed villain of the season. And this is what it says. She cunningly manipulated and over time brainwashed Gaitok, how do you say it?
Gaitok. Yeah.
Gaitok into betraying his deepest spiritual convictions, all in the name of ambition. His descent into darkness, murdering Rick solely to please the lady,
The
actress lady,
yes.
hotel owner, was set in motion by Mook. Mook wasn't just a bad influence. She was the embodiment of evil.
Oh my God. That's a little dramatic.
Well,
I think she's just a woman who has been around Western culture and wanted more than what she grew up with. She didn't have a spiritual... If his spirituality was that deep, he could have stuck with it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would have shot him. I don't know if I would have done that.
Well, your boss is yelling at you to do it.
That would not have made me do it.
I would have shot someone before I took the money.
I would have not shot someone and taken the money. If they said, here's $5 million to shoot him, I wouldn't have done it.
I wouldn't have done either, actually.
So, like, him shooting him, even if he just didn't shoot him to death, like just shot his knee out or something, I don't know. If he could.
He's only shot a couple times. He's not that good.
They said he was all right. He said he was all right. But, I mean, the guy wasn't running. His back was to him. He was walking away with his dead girlfriend in his arms.
His life was over anyways. I mean, he had shot and murdered people.
If he did
in a foreign country, his life was not going to be... If I were Rick, I'd rather be dead.
I probably
than
would.
Live with
the guilt of that.
And the repercussions that could have
100%
been being in a terrible foreign prison.
And that I still don't think that absolves the shooter of that. I mean,
he'll be in his own prison until he decides to break out of it again.
He won't be the guy who shot the guy.
He'll have to realize for himself if it's important enough to have a woman in his life that prioritizes those things that are very different from what he prioritizes.
Yeah. Well, Buddhism asks you to accept things more than I want to accept things. And that was always my issue with it. There's a lot of things I like about it. And I've been told that Buddhism is like the only religion that could be a world religion that would actually work. It's what it asks of you is different than all the others. But, to have no difference between the people who are close to you and any other person, like Buddhism asks you not to favor your family or favor your friends or whatever. And ethically, I just don't think that's ethically. It's probably right, but biologically, I don't think it's going to work like that.
Well, it's a practice. Like
yeah,
any.
I don't want to live in a world where I don't favor someone. I like favoring people, but I also try not to, be a dick. I'll take the money, but I'm not going to shoot someone or I'm not going to do other things, So I don't know. Buddhism was always a rough one just because of that. Like, it asks you to say everything is as it should be. Everything is as it should be right now, and you live right in this moment. But I think there's, I'm sure this is a prison, but there's like the past is there, and then the future is there. I don't think we can just live only presently. Doesn't seem like a good way to live to me. But I might be just Western or whatever.
Wouldn't you be less anxious if you were living just in the moment? And if
I were only living in the
realized
moment,
that you have no control over any of it?
yeah, no, I don't think I'd feel better at all. Every time I think I have no control, I feel worse. And I don't have a lot of control.
You don't find it freeing?
Not so far. I feel like, the anxiety or whatever can motivate you in some way that you wouldn't be motivated if you were just chill the whole time. I feel like it's almost like everybody was high right now. I don't want to be in a world where everyone's just high.
What?
Every person is just sitting there going, "Oh, sorry, man." I couldn't do it. Isn't that what Buddhism is? Everyone's high.
No.
Okay, tell me what it is then.
It's that you accept that life lacks certainty.
For sure.
Our experience in this plane is not certain.
But can you do anything that helps you, or can you not? It's like
learning to be at peace
with not being able to pay your rent. Then you just leave the house. It's like he says, Eckhart Tolle. There was a thing on Oprah something yada 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 a while ago when his New Earth book came out, and he was like, people were like, well, what do I do? Because how do I stay in the moment when I got to worry about paying my bills and all that? And he said, you don't have to worry about paying your bills. You just have to pay them.
Yes.
And I was like, that is so unhelpful to me. That's so unhelpful to me. Like, that doesn't remove worry. But then, I realize there's an awful lot of times when I did a lot of worrying when I could have been enjoying a moment. And it all worked out in the end anyway. But the other thing that bugs me about it. About Buddhism and the people who practice it, maybe more so, because I'm sure it's like some bastardization of it.
Yes.
But, and this is Christianity too, so it's really just religion. When there's a higher power that's running things, or there's a higher power involved, whether it be fate or whatever, people just think that they got everything they deserved, even if they didn't, that people think.
Well, I don't think either of those religions. Christianity, it's probably all God's plan.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
But Buddhism has nothing to do with fate. Buddhism doesn't
you just
have
have
anything
to
to do with
accept that you can't control anything.
Correct.
Which is like basically giving into fate, if you ask me.
But you're putting a word on it that's very there's no such thing. There's no fate.
Mm-hmm.
There's no plan.
It's like I said, when my friend slept with the guy I was interested in. And then, I was pissed about it. Like, she was staying at my...
How are you going to tie this together?
She was staying at my house for free when I lived in L.A. And there was this guy, tall, handsome fella named Joe. And he, I don't know, he was funny. He made me laugh. So anyway, I guess he liked her. And then she was staying at my house for free because she was fighting with her boyfriend, whom she had at the time, when she decided to do the stuff with Joe. And then I'm like, what are you doing? You're in my apartment messing around with this person that that I have feelings for, which I get it. Like, you don't owe me not to do it. Like, you don't owe me. I don't own him. I don't own you. But could you do it in a different location? Like a different one. Maybe not here. And then she was like, you just have to realize that everything is as it should be. So she didn't have to answer to me.
Okay.
And that's the kind of stuff that just gives you this kind of out.
Okay,
It's like,
well, that was her just being a bitch.
well, that's what she said. She's like, you need to read Deepak Chopra and recognize that everything is as it should be and that everything is fine. And I don't feel that way. And so anyway, there's something about that is true for Christianity too. Like when people,
How did you respond to that?
I was like, no, I'm not going to read some fucking guy who's going to try to, you're just trying to get off the hook. You know, you have to have the conversation. And
Yeah, she was just being a twat.
she's a twat. And, you know, whatever.
And if she really believed in those things, she would not have been chasing that pleasure just for the sake of the pleasure.
That would have been a better answer on my part. But it just was kind of like, it gives a taste in my mouth. For
And
that
I am by
stuff.
no means an expert, but I do try to struggle with ego and letting go of that part of that I'm really not shit. None of us are.
So for you,
We're all little nothings in the big scope of things.
and that makes you feel better?
Yes. It relieves so much pressure.
Okay.
Like if I don't have to live up to any expectations and I don't have to feel this pressure to control everything that is going to come,
Hmm.
you can just be present in the moment and you have better relationships with people when you can focus. You know, like I'm a better mother if I'm present.
Yeah. But
I'm a better wife if I'm present.
yeah, I think being present is a good lesson to take from it, whether or not that means that in your present state you don't think about.
But
you
you're
know,
just always going to be chasing something. Like it's you're going to be the monkey chasing its tail all the time if you don't learn to be content in the moment.
Hmm.
And back to Rick, he had that moment for a little bit.
yeah, you can see what's relieved from him. You can see the weight off of his shoulders, and you can maybe see the weight off of the shoulders of Lori when she lets go of whatever her anger or rage is at the friends.
Well, and her own expectations of herself and her expectations of the people around her. Because Lori could have seen the two of them in the pool
Mhm.
doing their selfies and talking and being like, oh shit, they're probably talking about me. Because
Yeah.
that's usually what they do. But she didn't. She was just like, oh, look.
Look at those
Those
two.
are two. Yeah.
Look at those boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but I mean, I don't know. You sent me 2 clips that were like, we're going to explain these things. And I thought, like, that's basic bitch shit. Like, do people really not understand the, like, is that how stupid we have become as Americans? We do not even understand the simplest of shit on TV shows. Like, we don't understand the simplest metaphor.
yeah. I mean,
my God.
I think, you know, it's harder to watch when you're on your phone at the same time, probably. And, you know, there's a lot of distractions in the world. And also, what was I think in Reality Bites or something, the teacher says, I don't remember who said it, but somebody's like, the hardest thing for people to understand is irony. It's the hardest thing for us to get for some reason. And, you know, what's going on here is people, we think people are going to say who they are, what they are, and be.
And most people don't know.
No, they're struggling too. So they're grabbing onto an identity that they think suits them. That seems like, you know, the closest identity I can find is Jan from the Brady Bunch. I think I'll do that one, you know.
You identify with Jan?
No,
Oh.
probably Bobby. I was the youngest.
Okay.
Maybe Thindy, but Thindy was different.
Anything else from the White Lotus?
Yeah, no, I think we covered all of the stuff I had. Yours was a little deeper, but
So okay, predictions. Who's coming back next season? I hope for selfish reasons that it is my Italian whore from season 2 because I love looking at her.
okay.
I don't think that's right though, but that's what I hope.
What if she took $5 million?
I wouldn't expect any less of her because she's a whore.
Okay.
She's out front. She's telling you that all she cares about is the money.
So it's the hypocrisy that bothers you, not that they took the money. That's
Correct.
It. Well, okay.
Well, both things bother me.
Still.
I wouldn't want to be in cahoots. I wouldn't want to be in a friendship with someone who thinks it's okay to take the money.
This is our last podcast.
It was fun while it lasted. But the hypocrisy, yes, the hypocrisy is what gets me the most. She claimed to be one person and then she showed she was totally someone else.
I don't think she did.
And she had no problem treating someone like shit
I didn't.
in the exact same way that she was treated like
I
shit.
think that's the message that you're supposed to get, right, from that. And I think that in the next...
What's the message you're supposed to get?
I think you're supposed to recognize that what money does to a person. I think that's part of the lesson.
Oh,
in
the
it.
whole White Lotus is like, yes, look at how fucked up all these rich people are.
Empty, vapid people with all of this money who could have anything, anything in the world could be theirs, and they don't appreciate it and are stupid. And so I think they're going to make Belinda a
One of those.
a tale of the corruption of money or whatever, a cautionary tale.
Of greed.
Yep, and her son too. I think some bad's gonna happen with him. He's gonna.
I read somewhere that it was like these were supposed to be on like the 7 sins or something.
Oh,
Or that
yeah.
each one. Who knows if that's fucking real?
Well,
But I was thinking about it. What would the first season would have been? I mean, I think they're all greed. Greed and
seems-
lust
yeah,
and envy.
gluttony. I mean, the whole thing is gluttonous.
Yeah. So I think, and I don't believe in any of that stuff, but
Well, I think she's gonna be in it, and that they're gonna make her something bad's gonna happen.
so you think she's coming back again,
I do.
Belinda?
They're gonna make her pay for taking that money. And then
You're probably right. I agree. That's probably the most but again, I'm kind of over it. I don't want to see her anymore.
I think you should show her some grace.
And I
then-
like her as an actress and everything, but I'm
She's
kind of
great.
just over it. I
Yeah.
want to see the Parker Posey coming to a White Lotus hotel with her new husband.
some new man,
Mm-hmm. That's what I want.
someone younger,
Because I could just watch Parker Posey all day in any
someone richer than her last husband or something. like
TV
that.
show.
Yeah, maybe.
I
She's
love
great.
her.
They showed her a clip from one of her old movies. It was one of the fake documentary ones
Oh,
where she's like, I guess I can work at Dairy Queen again.
I love her in Best in Show.
She's
too.
great.
Oh, my God.
She's in a bunch of those, whatever
Yeah.
they are.
She's great.
Waiting for Guffman and whatever they all are.
Or, yeah, because the dad's not coming back. He's going to be in prison.
The dad's going to be probably in jail. Maybe he'll get out of it, I couldn't
You don't go
understand-
to jail for that kind of crime. You go to prison.
Whatever, yeah.
He'll be
The
in
Pope.
prison.
Yeah, maybe his son.
One of the kids could have.
I mean,
One of the kids could come back.
Piper.
She's
could
the
have
most
an-
boring one, though.
she could
I'd
have a
rather
new
have either
boyfriend.
of the brothers.
Okay.
Or from season 2, maybe someone will come back. Who knows?
Well, from season 2, I would love to see Aubrey Plaza and Parker Posey in something.
Oh, my God. Yes.
That would be fun.
100 times yes. Mike White, make that happen.
Gosh. Thinking of Mike White, some of the deepest moments from a TV show that just hit you like a ton of bricks have been him. And that he did that, gosh, I can't remember what it's called. It was one with Laura Dern from a while ago.
Oh, the Big C?
No, that was a different one, and that's not Laura Dern, but it's close. That's the woman from Ozark.
Yep,
But it's
that
like
is the-
not Enchanted, but anyway, she.
Yes,
it's
I know what you're
E
talking about. It was
something.
on HBO too.
Yeah,
Enlightenment.
Enlightened. Yes.
enlightened.
Yeah. And she's this sort of awful woman who walks around pretending to be enlightened all the time. And it's so frustrating. And I know people like that. And I lived in California for a while. I
Yep.
know people like that. And it just, God, her, the way she used that and weaponized that. And then she'd have moments where at the end she'd just kind of talk about something that she was feeling, like whatever. And they were so insightful. He's just so insightful. So I'm a fan of him. So I look forward to season 4 and whatever else he's doing.
Yep. White Lotus, we
Is that-
love you.
Is that the song? There's some kind of thing going on with the guy who did the music and Mike White too.
Oh, okay.
It's not very interesting though. I tried to be interested.
And then you were instantly bored.
I was bored. Yeah.
Way to be honest with
I
yourself.
don't care.
Monks
care.
would be proud.
Give me $5 million and I'll be interested in that shit right now. But until then, no.
She's too stressed to deal with it.
But
Okay, what are you hanging up on? I had no time to think about it this week because I'm so tired.
you look a little tired.
Oh my God.
I'm hanging up on friends who judge me for taking the money.
Deuces.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'd love to try to be Buddhist, but I don't think it's going to work. So I'm just going to hang up on having a too fatalistic attitude because it feels pretty fatalistic right now. So I can vote because I didn't get married, so I should be able to vote, but I don't think votes will count. And so that's the fatalism there that I'm not doing, as you can tell.
Yeah, I think you're gonna not be very successful with
I'm going
this.
to try it. You know what?
How are you? Okay.
America is amazing.
What is a measurable way you can do this, Jennifer?
I don't know.
How about only look at social media for 7 hours a day?
Well, today I was mostly in design mode, and
Oh, good. Did you feel better?
I did
Less
a little
stressed?
bit. Yeah, I didn't listen
Yeah, so
to.
just don't.
But then it would be like, well, I have to go to the bathroom. And then-
I'm hanging up on socks.
Socks, excellent.
Yeah.
I hate socks.
Look at you, like make yours all unattainable.
My socks unattainable.
No. You make your hang-ups unattainable.
Oh, you're right.
You're like, I am going to change my entire mindset.
I guess I'm always trying to think about that. So
And I'm like, nope, socks.
I think socks.
Socks are out. It is nice enough now. I
Yeah.
am only wearing sandals
Okay.
or tennis shoes with no socks.
Okay.
I'm sorry, people that have to smell my feet at the end of the day, but that's only my husband, and he don't care.
I think that's a
Or I
brilliant,
can go wash them or
brilliant-
something. So
brilliant thing to give
I'm
up
hanging
on.
up on socks.
Okay. I should make mine easier.
Yeah, you should do something easy like that. Like, I'm only gonna wear sports bras. Regular bras, out.
Oh,
But then you'd have the uniboob all the time.
yeah.
No one likes that.
Well, it's not my favorite thing.
Sometimes it feels good. I like it
The
tight.
uniboob?
Yeah, I like
Oh.
it tight and close to my body and like nothing's moving. Like these boobs are just,
They're right there.
yeah, in a sports bra opposed
Yeah.
to a regular bra.
Yeah.
But then I look at my outfit and I go, oh no, I don't look as good in this shirt.
Well, the sports bra is like one of my problems is I don't mind showing some cleavage, but the sports bras are all up to my chin. It's like because they're trying to give you full coverage.
They're too much. Yeah.
So if you want to wear a shirt that has a V-neck, it's like, oh, look at your bra there.
Yeah.
So, but
Like a chin strap.
like it's up there.
Okay, so I'm hanging up on socks and Jen is hanging
Yeah,
up
sure.
on thinking the world is going to end.
Yeah, I still do.
America. Let's focus not on the world, maybe just America.
Yeah, maybe Spain.
Make it more attainable.
Anyway, all right. Well, thanks for following. We had 15 views of our last one, so
And we had our first online fight. I love you anyways.
I don't know if it was a fight, but if it was, then that was exciting.
Follow, like, subscribe. Thank
Share.
you.
Share. if you
Share.
want.
Ooh,
Do some sharing.
we appreciate that.
People
Oh,
love it.
do our online poll.
Yeah, we're
Are
gonna
you
do a
gonna
poll.
do that?
I'll try to remember to. Yeah,
Will you be
for Belinda
or against?
or opposed financial freedom.
Oh my God, blood money. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Boom.
Boom.